Alright, so first step in making a 1 by 1 is, of course, to make the 1 by 1. In other words, the part that we're going to be putting the stickers on. So, yeah, pretty much this is where the Legos come in and where the super glue comes in. So, we'll set this off to the side right now. Now, as I said, you can get these specific Legos or any Legos that'll work. So yes, let me show you how these are going to go together, so that way you can, if you don't want to use these specific Legos, you can go through your own Legos and find some that will work. Also, one other thing I should mention, if you want to make yours actually in proportion to all the other ones, where did I put that? See what this is going to do, all these Legos are going to create a 4x4. If you use like these, you can make a 3x3, just like one of these, and then a 3x1 stud block. And yeah, that's what me, myself, and Pi used. In case you're wondering, I personally like this size a little better though. But maybe one day I'll make one of those. So yeah. Anyway, aside from that, let's go ahead and get started. So, in order to put these together, first take two of your little thin guys here and put them together like so, so you have a 4x4 base. Then take two more thin ones, put them together like so, adjacent. So as you can see how they're going vertically, I'm going to put this one on horizontally, like connect them horizontally, so that way they stay. Then I'm going to do that again with these thick ones. I'm going to put these on adjacent, and basically I'm just going to keep adding layers like this. See, now I'm going to put these on crisscross. Yeah, just stack them up on top of each other crisscross. And this, I'm just showing you here how the structure is actually going to work. So yes, these are actually really tight. Like, go on there and they are really hard to push on. Alright, there you go. And that is what we're going to be building here. These are very tight Legos, though. I can't imagine that. It's going to be hard to pull apart. Okay, come on now. Yeah. Now that you know how the structure is going to work, let's go ahead and assemble it officially. Yeah, whatever. Alright, so I'm just going to have this paper here, so that way no super glue will drip on the floor. So, if you do decide to get this kind of super glue, let me show you how it works. Let's get out a tube of it. I've never actually used this stuff before, but I will kind of walk you through how to set it up. So yeah, just get out a tube. I actually do recommend you get it in these kinds because all the ones I've gotten that are just one container, like one large container type thing, those always dry up on me, which I don't really like. So it reads here on the back to that you need to break the seal before using. So basically what you do is you unscrew the cap and nozzle assembly, like so. So there's the cap, and I'm assuming this unscrews as well. Yes. Then point tube away from face and body, just like so. And then it says to pierce tube seal with point on top of cap. Right there. So just take, you can see right here where all that is. There's a little sharp point in there. Just gonna fit it on. And try not to squeeze it. Yeah, you'll hear a little discharge of air. And then do not squeeze tube while puncturing. Then go ahead and screw the nozzle back on. And I thought this was the see-through kind. Grr. Oh well, who cares. So, now we can get started. So let's take some of these, we will glue, basically what you want to do is just glue the studs. Oh gosh, this comes out fast. Oh wow, this is pretty runny, actually. I wasn't expecting that. Alright. Ew. Okay. Should have probably had them put together before I started that. Yeah, just put them on here. It's pretty runny, actually. Alright, then just stick these on. Alright, where's the other one? Come on. We ain't got all day. Oh gosh. Okay, and then just this is gonna be all. I'm gonna have super glue all over my fingers. I wasn't expecting it to be that, runny. Ew. Oh gosh. Then just kind of push it together to get the bond to occur correctly, and just push, 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 and just push. Yes, and if you do get super glue on your fingers, using some fine sandpaper, you can sand it off. Yeah, and then just continue putting it together like I showed you before. So yeah. Okay, my hands are all covered in super glue. I wasn't expecting it to be that runny. Let's go ahead and replace the cap. Screw it on there extra tight so it doesn't, dry up. And yeah, that was pretty cool. So a little runnier than I expected, or anticipated, but yeah. A good way though I found to remove super glue from your hands is just to rub your finger up and down some sandpaper. Yeah. Till you're certain that it's gone. Alright, that certainly feels a heck of a lot better. Still a little, crusty, but it works. Alright, so, yeah. Since super glue dries pretty much instantly, we can go ahead and move on to the next step, which is to get rid of these studs. Alright. So basically, it's pretty easy. It's pretty self-explanatory. What you do is just rub it against some sandpaper. Or you start with the rough, then move on to the fine, then rub it against some paper. And what that'll do is that'll restore the shine. So yeah, that's what the paper was for. So yeah. So rough, fine, then just standard paper will do the trick. And when you're sanding down the studs, like sanding them down, make sure that you check regularly to make sure how much you got left to sand, because you do not want to overdo it, because this isn't very thick plastic, as you guys can see. And yeah, and I hate to say this to the guy who I'm gonna be making this to, but these Legos fit together kind of weird. Like there's this hole in there. I can like see kind of sort of through that. You can't, but whatever, who cares. It probably won't make a difference once we're done sanding. So yeah, let's go ahead and do that. Yeah. Here it is after de-studding it with the rough. Now, when you know to go to the fine, you'll notice you want to get it to where there's just a little bit of shiny plastic left. You're going to take care of the rest of that with the fine sandpaper stuff. So yeah, that's a little cue to move on to the fine. So yeah, here it is after I've done the fine. And as you can see, I just did it until there's no more shininess, and then I stopped. So that's why I want to check back regularly so that we don't overdo it. Now it's time to move on to the polishing. Now, as I said, in order to polish it, you'll just need standard printing paper. This is just, it's copy paper is what it's really called. Yeah, I'll try and show you guys a picture of the packaging. It's, I don't know if it's affordable or if it's really nice. Now, one thing I've been meaning to tell you guys, but I, haven't. When you're finding the Legos to use, make sure you know what color you want to paint it. If you want a white cube, get a bunch of white Legos. Get as many white Legos as you can. If you want to paint like a red cube, get as many red pieces as you can. If you want to paint a black cube, get as many black pieces as you can, because the more Legos used that are in that color, the less paint will be required to get it to look the way you want it to look. So yeah, that's just, yeah. Because you see here, on this one there's that blue showing there, and yeah, some there. There's just a lot of exposed plastic. So make sure you get as many of the color that you want to paint it as you can. Now I want to show you the immediate effects of paper. So as you guys can see, it's not very shiny right now. It's a little shiny, but we want it to be as shiny as it can get. So if you use this paper though, as a, just run it against it as if it's sandpaper like this. Missed a spot. Yeah. Let's get this corner here. So keep missing it. There we go. Yeah. That's what the paper was for. And of course you also need paper to print out the sticker templates. Which, by the way, if you're using an inkjet printer, be very aware of the fact that you might have some color imperfections after gluing. I have tons of them. Alright, there is this one stubborn spot, but you can get the idea. Yeah. Alright, after you have polished this to your satisfaction, it is time to move on to this. You want to get rid of all this, basically you want to make the bottom here, so that way basically it's going to look exactly like that. So yeah. So basically do the same thing, but again, keep checking. I will, show you once I get, I will show you as I transition through the different steps, so no worries. So start with rough.